Thank you for with me with this topic of Cyborg Think. Today, I'd like to discuss and discourse about to think out of a Cyborg Think. And after discussion about the digital vaccine, last time we discussed. Today, I have 3 questions to you in this class to think of what cyborg means, what Cyborg Think means. The first question to you is, what is to think? To be able to think with object, with the thing we have in my mind when we observe the thing, the object, is to empty ourselves. Otherwise, we cannot think. From the definition of Nietzsche through Martin Heidegger's definition as well. So if we occupied in our brain, in our mind, with other things, from even experience with even creative ideas and knowledge, it's very difficult to think. Therefore, we have to empty ourselves. That's the very important things. From the definition of Nietzsche, he defined the person who can empty oneself, he defined as Zarathustra, the Superman. To think is very difficult. In a Confucian traditions, the mediocre book teach us to think. To be able to think, we have to empty it. Exactly same as what Nietzsche thought of his book Zarathustra. So empty it is very difficult. Things, very important. Think to bring us some appearance, some the logos we discuss in this the topic. Second question, what could be a difference between perceive and thought? Perceive and thought. So we discussed first time, we have to, in this class, develop the sign to communicate. So first step, to perceive with the object. So we use our sense to bring appearance into our mind, into our brain, through this the perceiving process. So we don't need to communicate those perceived object as appearance to other persons. So we don't need any the sign to be used to communicate with a perceived object. But after perceiving process, we think to make another appearance to be delivered to other person. We need to finally a sign to be communicated. That's the big difference between two. But in digital times, the connected to third question, in digital times, we have a different perceived process. Even perceiving process, previously we don't need any sign to be the communicated to other persons. But in digital times, to perceive, we are not talking about the thinking process. To be able to perceive even in digital way, we probably need the sign. Then the perceived object then can be communicated to other persons. We are talking about observer side, not the receiver side. The communicator side wise, so we have a sender, we have a receiver. So in this way, we can have appearance through sign in sender side, not the receiver side, from the perspective of a perception. So and then we can think based on those perceived perceive the appearance, and then use different sign to deliver those perceived object, perceived appearance to other person. That's the way define another communication to make a meaning out of this the process in digital way. So let me summarize our discussion today to think. So thinking process in digital era, digital times, we may need the sign for both perceiving and the thinking process, but different way. So the signature, the sign in a perceiving process, and ones for thinking process are different. So then we have two different logos. So we can define two different logos. The first logos as discourse. So through intuitive sensing, the perceiving process with object and with a thing, so we can discover what is hidden behind the thing through the appearance. So we can make a appearance through our perceiving process with the help of the sign, because we are perceived in digital way. So that we can define what is hidden, what is the covered through the finding and discovering the process. And the second logos, that's the first logos. So after the perceiving process. The second process is a thinking process. Thinking is separate process. So to deliver logos as different from discourse at these times, so we can discover logos as reason at these times. So to bring to the let something seen as something synthesize another one. So from the first process of perception, so we bring new logos types of that. The secondary, we bring appearance to be combined, synthesized with another things into the new things. So that's the way I define the differently from the first logos and second logos as a regions. We have a region to synthesize those things based on our experience, based on some kind of idea based on the region. So we have two different logos. So whatever those, we need what? We need signs to perceive in digital way, to think in analog as well as digital ways. So to think is like that. So even sensing process, intuitive sensing, perceiving process, followed by thinking process. Anyway, we need to take a sign to be communicated with oneself, ourselves, as well as other persons. Okay, that's the topic about to think out of a Cyborg Thinks. Okay, thank you for your attention. And if you have any question and comment, please contact with me through email. And then I hope you can use my discourse types of discussion with this topic today to be delivered with the video to while you are doing the project. Okay, and I hope we can see with a new topic next week. If you're interested, please give me your idea with the topic you would like to discuss about with me. Thank you very much.